Este mai greu să fii femeie sau bărbat?
Nu. Este pur și simplu diferit. Principala diferență dintre bărbați și femei, o să vedeți, este că femeia comunică, relaționează emoțional, deci prin emoții, iar bărbatul oferim soluții la probleme. E mai practic, el oferă soluții. În schimb, în viața de zi cu zi, în cuplu, o să vedeți ce încurcătură poate ieși, de fapt, din aceste tipare mentale de funcționare diferite. Pentru că o să vedeți, o să iese multe încurcături.
Now, there's no cultural differences we found in any responses to this at all. The only cultural difference we did find is that Eskimo women can reverse parallel park a sled and point north. Now, for thousands of years, they've been hunters similar to the male, so it makes sense that they would have evolved with those skills. Now, a typical woman has a peripheral vision that operates at least 60 degrees from the side of the head. Now, most men start laughing when they hear this. Many can see up to 180 degrees, and a small percentage can see slightly behind while appearing to look directly in front. For the women, is this true? Yes or no? Tell them. Now, for most men, this is getting too much. You try to tell me, Ellen, that she's talking to the gentleman on the front table. While she's talking with him, she can see all the people around him at the same time. Yes, and she can hear what they're all talking about. And tell you tomorrow what they were wearing. A multi-tracking brain allows you to do that. See, it allows you to pick up stimulation and information in your area about other people and animals. So while you're multitasking in front, you can see a person or animal approaching or sneaking up on the nest either side. Now, this peripheral vision, fellas, is a bit of a clue for you. Kinsey Institute in America, who study human sexuality, they found this is the reason women do not get caught having a good old look at men on the beach. She seems to be looking there, but she's looking at this guy here. Now, when you come into a room like this, you're with a man, right? And you say to him, without appearing to move your lips, you say, look at that couple over by the exit sign. What's the first thing he does with his head? Women say to men everywhere, stop looking, it's so embarrassing. It's so obvious. Now look, if he doesn't turn his head, he cannot see anybody. It's that simple. You're walking down along the beach, fellas. You've got a woman walking beside you, and coming out of the water over here on an angle is absolutely beautiful-looking woman with the best-shaped figure you have ever seen. Now, you haven't seen it yet because you're watching that seagull landing on top of that lamppost up in front. Who spots her first, you or the woman with you? Women know the answer to this. You spot her long before he's got a clue what's happening. Then you evaluate her as a competitor out of 10, marking yourself down. And when you finish that form of self-beating, then you look at him and wait till he sees her. When he goes, you dirty mongrel in public! The visual spatial area of the brain. This, the right part, which exists for the majority of men, from age 2 onwards, men and boys test to be very strong in visual spatial skill. It also means that you can look at information three-dimensionally. You can see height and width, and you can see the third dimension, you can see behind an object. This allows you in your mind to mentally imagine something rotated upside down. Now, mental rotation is a very strong part of male hunting brain. You can also go three-dimensionally this way. This would explain why 94% of all air traffic controllers in the world are men, wouldn't it? Why 98.1% of all air traffic crews in the world in commercial airlines, pilots and engineers, are males. Not sexist. We went down to see the air traffic controllers, as we do with most major spatial occupations, and we said, hey, where are the women? Why aren't they here? Where's this equal opportunity? You know why there aren't more women air traffic controllers and pilots? They don't apply for the jobs. You know why? They're not interested. They couldn't care less. It wouldn't occur to your typical younger student today as a female to apply for a job as an air traffic controller. It wouldn't make sense. They wouldn't even suit the job. In fact, you've got to have spatial skills to even be interested. Does that make sense? It's not that they're no good at it. They're not interested. They orient their careers into other areas where their brains are really more suited, and they find it more interesting, such as 86% of all therapists and counsellors in Britain are female. It makes sense. Speaking, communicating, listening. Most men would think of being a counsellor or therapist as listening to complaining people all day. You've got zebras to hit. Spatial skill allows you mental rotation. This allows you to estimate coordinates of something moving in the distance. It's a hunting part of the brain. Most men are strong on this. Most women don't need it. Consequently, you're looking at about 10 to 15% for your typical woman having the same spatial ability. It's also the area of the brain you need to reverse parallel park a motor car between two other cars. It's also the area you need to merge on a motorway. 18% of women in Britain will not merge on a motorway. Now, this is something you never hear discussed, because you need to estimate the speed of the cars going past and the speed of your own to know when to poke it into the hole at the right speed. So they'd rather not do that. And they get a lot of carry from men about this. It's also the reason so many women have so much trouble reading maps and street directories. Fellas, back me up. You're going for Sunday drive, right? You guys get behind the wheel. You always drive. No one's questioning why you drive. You just do. Driving is a spatial skill. Speeds, angles, corners. That's why men love it. They watch other men driving in a circle for 2 hours on Sunday. On TV, round and round and round and round. For women, that makes no sense. But he's in the seat himself, making all the adjustments, giving Hackenden those instructions. He watches a man kick a ball into a net on Sunday and rushes home and watches on TV on a replay. 6 times the ball comes out in slow motion. Now, women think this is a waste of life. Why would you watch a ball go in and out of a net? Because it appeals to the spatial area of the brain. So you're going for Sunday drive, fellas. You have a woman beside you, and you say there's 2 words that destroy your day. You give her a map and say, which one? Approximately 20% of women, about 1 in 5 women are fairly capable to excellent on orienteering and map reading. About half the balance have trouble and struggle, and the rest don't want to know about it. Give most women in the world a map or directory, what is the very first thing she will do? She turns it upside down to face the direction you're travelling in. Then she looks out on the horizon and tries to find a landmark that looks like something on here. So then she says, this map is ridiculous. You guys say, no, the map's not ridiculous, and your day is over at that point. Raise your hand if you had the map argument. Now, for the gentlemen in the room, I encourage you to stop handing maps to spatially embarrassed women. This will destroy your European vacation. This will wreck your night out. You can get divorced over the map. Now, Barbara, who is my significant other, she runs our corporation in both parts of the world. We live here in the UK half the time, in Australia the balance. And I can't multitask the business like she can. I can do one thing at a time and do it real well. But she can't park the car. And then she'll tell you she doesn't care either. She does not care. It's not an issue. She won't drive into a multi-storey car park. She'd rather find a big space and walk if necessary. She hasn't driven backwards in 7 years. She asks strange men to park the car where necessary. She describes this as outsourcing. It's the way to do it. The number 1 skill for women everywhere sits in both brains, front and back. What do you think it is? Speech and language. In simple terms, women are great talkers, men are not. This is not a shock. Now, in a given day, a typical woman can speak a top end of 8,000 to 9,000 spoken words effortlessly. 4 brain centres to do this in. You've got another 6,000 to 7,000 tone of voice changes with those words using 5 tones. Men can pick 3 of these. Another 4,000 to 6,000 gestures, expressions and movements. Add this together, you have 20,000 to 24,000 communication signals a day output from a communicative brain of a typical nest-defending female, effortlessly. Typical male does 7,000 to 10,000 a day. Now, will you notice the difference when you sit down for your evening meal, because he's done his 10,000. Sound familiar? He's up for a bit of fire-gazing time, thanks very much. He's got the remote control flicking from channel to channel to channel to channel. Men don't want to know what's on television, we found. They want to know what else is on television. It's a form of fire-gazing. He's scanning. And he can't hear anything at the time, so it's pointless having an intelligent conversation. You've got to get his attention. End of the day, he's fire-gazing. He's perfectly happy to do this. Through the door she comes. Her condition depends on her day. If she's in a pastime or pursuit where she may be speaking, although she may have burned up 15,000 or 16,000 words herself. Working women are close to word burnout like working men. She's been home all day with young children under the age of 5, particularly boys who don't speak, they grunt. And she's lucky to have done 2,000 words. She's got 22,000 to go. Well, someone's going to hear them. And there's him, captive audience. So she says, hi darling, how was your day? What do men say under these conditions? Good. 10,001. Well, have you got your ticket organised for the awards down at the Hilton? Are you ready to go? Yeah. 10,002. She's thinking now, he won't talk as usual. Her dad was the same too. When he got home from work, he told everybody he wanted some peace and quiet. Men and women use speech and language for completely opposite purposes. We reckon it is the biggest single difference between the sexes. Men use speech and language to communicate facts and data. They have shorter sentences with a specific opening and an ending and at least one hard fact in the middle, using direct talk, being specific as hard as it may be. When they listen to other men, what are men listening for? Facts and data. Women use speech for a completely different purpose. Now fellas, this will revolutionise your life. Women use speech and language for bonding and rewarding. And what this means is she likes you, loves you. If she's buying what you're saying, she's going along, she wants to congratulate you, encourage you, she'll talk to you. Words are reward. Congratulations, have a few. So at the end of the day, if he's been around women long enough, he's learnt you must say, how was your day, or you have a bad night. So he says, how was your day? And so she tells him. You wouldn't believe the day I had today. I had the day off from work. I didn't want to stay home. Remember that blue dress I bought in Hawaii at the time with the gold buttons? And I should have got the blue one because the exchange rate was much better. Now it's gone down. I've been kicking myself. But on the shopping channel, I had the same one with the brown buttons. And I thought for the awards centre, I could get Susan's mother, who's got that brand new machine. I'd love to have a machine like that. It only costs £150. She could take it off and put it on there. I could wear it with my gold shoes to go to the awards. And John said, in fact, John's mother had a hip replacement. I saw her the other day. She's hobbling along. Oh, she's in so much pain. Now, think about this. He's happily fire-gazing. And here comes what sounds, from his perspective, like an avalanche of facts and unrelated data. He thinks he's hearing problems that she's had, that she's telling him about, and expecting him to fix them. Now, he has a fix-it brain, so what does he do? He keeps interrupting with what she should have done about each of these. Well, look, wait a minute, Susan. Here's what you should have done. What you should have done was listen to the weather forecast on TV, because that would tell you what to wear, and you wouldn't have that problem fixed. She thinks, he interrupted me. She continues, well, I went to that new shopping centre and I got on the escalator, got my heel cord, broke the heel off. I was so angry because I paid £300 for those shoes. £300 shoes, broken, problem. Here's what you should have done, Cheryl. What you should do, you shouldn't wear high heel shoes on escalator. It's a very bad thing. Ankle injuries are up 46%. Wear flat shoes. Problem solved. She's thinking, he won't shut up. He's thinking, why can't she fix these things herself? Why do I have to come home and fix everything she's ever had? Now, the point is, for the women, please answer yes or no. For men, this will be a revelation. If you haven't seen a man that day, or maybe for a couple of days, at the end of the day, we know you are talking for two reasons: to burn up words and to bond and reward with him. No solutions are required. Do you want any interruptions with what you should have done to have made your day much better? Fellas, this is a breakthrough. You're not expected to talk. What would you like him to do? Listen. Now, with body language, here's a man listening. Watch. Now. Now, this behaviour, we classify that, we call this the grunt. And men do it everywhere in the world. When they talk in public, particularly amongst other men they don't know that well, they show no emotional condition. They grunt. They go, This shows they're interested. Now, the women, listen to this. We know that men can speak or listen. That's why they have turns. They go one at a time. That's because they can't do it at the same time, otherwise they would. If a man's talking having a turn, if you wanted to raise your own credibility and win that man over, your point of view, what would you do if he was having a turn? Let him have it. When you listen to him with the grunt. Just sit there. This takes practice and go, Now, we've studied this in business. Women who sit there grunting at a man while she's having a turn, that man starts thinking, she knows exactly what I'm talking about. Your credibility goes up. And all you're using is male communication skills. Now, you gentlemen have a completely opposite situation here. Women use words to reward. They love you, like you, are buying what you're saying, they give you lots of words. The reverse is true. If they don't love you, don't like you, and you are to be punished, they stop talking. Withdrawal of words is seen, from a female standpoint, as a serious punishment. Women use silence to punish men. Men love silence. Look, if you want to punish the guy, talk non-stop in his face, change the subject. Look, think about this. The biggest threat a woman can ever make is, I'll never talk to you again. The threat of permanent withdrawal of words is a serious threat from a woman's standpoint. It makes no sense to the average man at all. Now, when women listen, they listen differently. They use their face and body signals to reflect the emotions of the speaker. So, for example, if I invited a woman in the front row to come and give a 3-minute speech, unannounced, unprepared, on a subject she knew nothing about. Let's say she's up here and she is dying. She's going through the emotional range of fear, panic, terror, elation. And she's trying her best. And after this, she's talking to her female friends at the back of the room. She wants to relate to them how she felt. She'd do it completely differently to what a man would do. If I said to a man, I'd like to invite you to speak, he'd go. And at the end, he'd tell his friends, you won't believe what happened to me. This guy got me up there. I'm never going to do this again. I'm not sitting in the front row again. He'd give her the solution. Here's what a woman might say to her friends. You will not believe what happened to me. This guy got me to come up and speak for 3 minutes on a subject I know nothing about. Oh, I died. I saw the faces. I died. It was so terrible. Oh, I'm never doing it again. Those faces, I was sweating. Here's the point. If you look at the female friends that she's telling the story to, you'd swear it had happened to them too. But what are they doing? They're feeding back her emotions on their face. They're going, no, you did. Oh, you poor thing. I must have died. Oh, they're all dying together. Fellas, you want to be a hit with women in business and personal life? This is what you've got to do. Don't sit there and grunt. Feedback on your face without offering solutions. Really? What did you say there? How did you feel? No. Oh, that's terrible. Don't do this with other men. This is the reason women love talking to gay men. That's what gay men do. They feed back your emotions, don't they? No, he didn't. Oh, I'd be so bad. Now, you guys sit there and you listen to the story and go, yep. Go to the speak, yep. Mm-hmm. You need a public speaking course. That's what you need. And tries to give her this. He didn't want the solution. She wanted to share her emotion. You're going to dinner tonight. She's got a brand new dress. Coming to a function just like this. She comes out of the bedroom wearing the dress, holds up 2 pairs of shoes, one blue and one gold. And she says, darling, should I wear blue or gold shoes with this dress? Love them both, I just can't decide which one. Okay, Mr. Girlfriend? Should I wear blue or gold shoes? What do you think?
It's up to you.
It's up to you. Is that a good answer? It's not a good answer.
No, good answer.
I really need your help, darling. Blue or gold, what do you think?
Blue.
Blue, okay, so he gave in for blue. Mr. 32 years, darling, what do you think? Blue or gold?
Well, I'd like to see the whole thing.
He's stalling. He's stalling for time. You see, 32 years ago, he picked blue too. And that was the end of his night, wasn't it? Now, for the women, please answer yes or no. For this gentleman, when she says to him, should I wear blue or gold, is she asking him to choose her shoes? No, she's already chosen the shoes before the question was asked. He thought it was a problem-solving question. He chose blue. He chose blue. What's the next thing she's going to say to him? What's wrong with the gold? Don't you like the gold? You've never liked them. Have the courage to say what you think. Go on your own for one. Fellas, raise your hand if you have had this conversation. Should I wear blue or gold is not the question. The real question in indirect female language is, tell me I am beautiful tonight. That's what it means. See, some questions cannot be answered, like, does this dress make my rear look too big? How do you answer that? You can't answer this question. Give them a round of applause. Okay.
Sfârșesc majoritatea cuplurilor.
Nu sfârșesc. Deși nu mai funcționează, rămân în relație. Așa numitele relații moarte sau relații blocate, care duc la suferință, o să vedeți, duc la durere sufletească și la boli. Uneori sau de cele mai multe ori grave. Auzim adesea, femeile se plâng, că de obicei bărbații nu se plâng, să știți. Ei suferă, dar nu se plâng. Dar femeile spun așa, mi-a mâncat zilele, doamna doctor. Bea. Că bea, știți? Adică uitând că, sau neștiind de fapt că toți bărbații care beau au dureri sufletești foarte mari și pot să ajungă la asta datorită unei relații disfuncționale, de exemplu. Dezastrul începe de obicei de la femeie, pentru că ea este nemulțumită de obicei prima în cuplu. ea începe cu nemulțumirile. Apoi se transformă din iubită în soacră. Știți? Pentru că apare cicăleala. Știți? Noi nu ne dăm seama de acest lucru ca și femei, dar așa se întâmplă. Cicăleala, să știți că scade testosteronul și scade încrederea bărbatului. Apoi, ea este nefericită, da? Pentru că e nemulțumită. Că, de exemplu, se compară cu alte familii, unde acolo sunt realizări și atunci dă vina pe bărbat că din cauza bărbatului nu reușește să se descurce familia sau ceva de genul. El e de vină, știți? Și apoi, pentru că ea e nefericită, devine și el nefericit. Pentru că ați observat că bărbatul, de fapt, își dorește ca ea să fie fericită. Și atunci devin amândoi nefericiți și apare depresia. Noi tratăm foarte multe depresii în cuplu. Asta pentru că, în general, femeile au așteptări nejustificate. Foarte multe așteptări. Pleacă, să zicem, din familia de bază cu foarte multe așteptări despre ce o să fie. Femeia, dacă nu a auzit și dacă n-a avut exemple în familie, nu poate să înțeleagă bărbatul. Cum arată un bărbat? Că marea majoritate au decât tați, știți, dar n-au frați, fetele. Acum, e foarte interesant, pentru că una e tata, una e soțul, știți? Adică sunt lucruri diferite. Iar dacă cumva mama deja a categorisit cumva bărbații, că ea e nemulțumită de soț și, știți, a vorbit cu fata, a vorbit în familie, ceva de genul că toți sunt la fel, știți? Toți bărbații sunt la fel. Atunci, tinerile femei pleacă deja cu această prejudecată, știți? Și se căsătorește ca să se căsătorească, că se căsătorește toată lumea și nu e bine să stea necăsătorită, dar nu crede că o să fie bine, că așa a zis mama, și apoi știind de la început că va fi nefericită cumva. Sau nu se mai căsătorește, pentru că noi avem foarte multe persoane care nu se mai căsătoresc, 30-40 de ani necăsătorite. Înțelegeți? Deloc. Sau își distruge prima căsătorie ca să-și dovedească că are dreptate. Că bărbații nu sunt buni. Că bărbații sunt nesimțitori. Ca să nu spunem altfel. Și nu, ei sunt doar diferiți. Dacă ajungi să studiezi această, să zicem, ca să glumim aici, specie, dacă să-i numim specie, dacă așa, să-i înțelegi de fapt, pentru că sunt diferiți, e ca și când sunt alte mașinării, ei pot să fie niște persoane, să zicem, care să ne țină companie, să ne țină în companie unui altora, foarte plăcute, dar trebuie să știi ce să aștepți de la un bărbat și trebuie să știi ce poți să-i oferi unui bărbat. Ce are el nevoie să-i oferi tu ca femeie. Da? Pentru că și el are nevoile lui. De exemplu, are nevoie de iubire, are nevoie de încredere, are nevoie de respect, are nevoie de devotament și are nevoie să fii permanent sursă pentru el. Înțelegeți? Acum, trebuie să știi ce să oferi și ce să ceri. E foarte important. De aceea, în primul rând, eu cred că un salt mare care s-ar face este că de la femei trebuie să plece și anume că femeile trebuie să le spună bărbaților că sunt foarte buni. Ne ferim să spunem, pentru că sunt chiar buni, sunt foarte buni. Da? Ca bărbați. Ei sunt cei care ne conduc. Pentru că ei ne conduc, că trăim în patriarhat, nu suntem în matriarhat. Și noi, pe de altă parte, îi susținem. Acest lucru se traduce în egalitate. Egalitatea putem să o înțelegem în multe moduri. Dar egalitatea este că fiecare are rolul lui. Dar asta nu înseamnă că suntem în aceeași poziție. Putem să fim în poziții diferite și să fim egali. Deși sună diferit, dar este același lucru. Adică armonios. Yin cu yang.
Doamnelor, domnilor, vă mulțumim că ați fost alături de noi. Până data viitoare ne luăm la revedere. Vă dorim armonie în suflet.
Să fiți credincioși și sănătoși!